What if I told you that happiness isn't just a feeling? It's a practice, a choice, a way of life. Look around. Some women over 70 are thriving, while others feel stuck, lonely, or uninspired. So what's the difference? Science tells us it's not about money, youth, or luck. It's about daily habits, small intentional actions that lead to a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. And the best part? You can start right now. No matter your past, your circumstances, or where you are today, happiness is still yours to create. Studies from the Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running happiness studies in the world, have found that people who age happily don't just get lucky. They build happiness through intentional choices. In fact, research shows that simple daily habits can improve mood, increase longevity, and make life feel more meaningful, even well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. So, what are these habits? What do happy women over 70 do every single day that keeps them feeling vibrant, fulfilled, and at peace? Well, today, we're going to uncover 12 of these powerful daily habits, practical steps you can take starting today to create a happier, healthier, and more meaningful life. Before we dive in, I want you to pause for a moment and imagine. Imagine waking up each morning feeling excited for the day ahead. Imagine feeling strong, content, and at peace. Imagine knowing that no matter your age, your story is still being written, and there's so much joy left to experience. Are you ready? Let's begin with the first habit that can transform your days and ultimately your life. Habit 1. Start the day with gratitude. Imagine waking up and before your feet even touch the floor, you take a deep breath and think of one thing you're grateful for. It might be as simple as the sunlight streaming through your window, the aroma of your morning coffee, or the sound of birds outside. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about training your mind to focus on what's good, rather than what's missing. And science backs this up. Studies from the University of California have shown that people who actively practice gratitude have lower stress levels, improved heart health, and even sleep better at night. One of the simplest ways to start is by keeping a gratitude journal. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big, just meaningful to you. Maybe it's a memory, a loved one, or the simple fact that you have another beautiful day ahead of you. By starting your day with gratitude, you set the tone for everything that follows. Instead of waking up with worries, you wake up with appreciation. And that small shift, it changes everything. Habit 2. Engage in meaningful social connections. If there's one thing that science has proven again and again, it's this. We are wired for connection. Happy women over 70 don't just sit alone in front of the TV all day. They actively nurture relationships with friends, family, and their community. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running studies on happiness, found that people with strong social ties live longer, healthier, and happier lives. Why? Because connection gives life meaning. But meaningful connection doesn't have to mean having a large social circle. It can be as simple as calling an old friend, joining a local club, or even having a short conversation with a neighbor. The goal is to stay engaged, to remind yourself that you are not alone. Not sure where to start? Try reaching out to one person today. A simple, "How are you?" can open the door to a heartfelt conversation. The happiest women don't just wait for connection to happen, they create it. So pick up the phone, say yes to that invitation, and nurture the relationships that bring joy into your life. Habit 3. Move the body daily. There's a saying that goes, movement is medicine. And for women over 70, this couldn't be more true. Happy women don't just sit around all day, they move their bodies in ways that feel good to them. Exercise isn't about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It's about staying mobile, strong, and independent for as long as possible. And the good news? Even a short daily walk can do wonders for your body and mind. Walking is one of the best exercises for longevity. It strengthens the heart, improves circulation, and even boosts mood by releasing endorphins, the brain's natural happiness chemicals. Not a fan of walking? Try stretching, light yoga, or even dancing around your living room. The key is to move in ways that feel good to you. The happiest women make movement a non-negotiable part of their day, because they know that every step, every stretch, and every dance move keeps them feeling alive. Habit 4. Keep the mind active. They say, use it or lose it. And when it comes to brain health, this is absolutely true. Happy women over 70 know that keeping the mind active is just as important as keeping the body moving. The brain is like a muscle. It needs regular exercise to stay sharp. In fact, studies have shown that engaging in mentally stimulating activities can reduce the risk of cognitive decline and even delay the onset of dementia. One of the simplest ways to keep your mind engaged is by reading. Books, newspapers, even listening to audiobooks. All of these keep your brain working in new ways. Puzzles, chess, and brain games are another fantastic way to keep your mind sharp. Even just 15 minutes a day can make a difference. Ever wanted to learn something new? Now is the perfect time. Whether it's a language, a musical instrument, or a new hobby, learning never has to stop, no matter your age. By challenging your brain every day, you stay sharp, curious, and engaged with the world. And that's a secret to lifelong happiness. Habit 5. Eat nourishing foods. They say you are what you eat. And for women over 70, the food you choose each day has a direct impact on your energy, mood, and overall health. But eating well doesn't have to be complicated. It's not about dieting or depriving yourself. It's about nourishing your body with foods that make you feel good and keep you strong. Experts recommend focusing on nutrient-rich foods like fresh vegetables, healthy fats, lean proteins, and whole grains. These foods don't just fuel your body, they protect it. The Mediterranean diet, for example, has been linked to better brain health and a longer lifespan. A simple way to start: add more color to your plate. The more vibrant your meals, the more vitamins and antioxidants you're getting. And remember, balance is key. A little treat here and there is good for the soul. The happiest women don't obsess over food. They enjoy it in a way that supports their well-being. When you nourish your body, you nourish your life. Habit 6. Practice mindfulness and stress management. Life will always have stress, but the way we respond to it makes all the difference. Happy women over 70 don't let stress control them. Instead, they practice mindfulness, a simple yet powerful tool for inner peace. Mindfulness isn't complicated. It's simply being present, fully engaged in the moment, without worrying about the past or the future. One of the easiest ways to practice mindfulness is through deep breathing. Try this. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Then exhale for 4. Just a few deep breaths can calm your nervous system and bring you back to the present moment. Journaling is another great stress reliever. Writing down your thoughts helps clear the mind and makes it easier to process emotions. And don't forget the power of simple moments. Drinking your morning tea without distractions. Feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, listening, really listening to a loved one. These small acts of mindfulness add up to a life that feels richer and calmer. The happiest women know that peace isn't something you find, it's something you create every single day. Habit 7. Have a daily purpose or passion. Do you wake up excited for the day ahead? Happy women over 70 have something that fuels them, something that gives their life purpose. Having a purpose doesn't mean you need to change the world. It simply means having something that brings you joy, something that gives your day meaning. For some, it's volunteering, helping others, and making a difference. For others, it's a creative passion like painting, gardening, or writing. Even something as simple as nurturing a small herb garden can add purpose to your day. Purpose can also come from passing down wisdom, mentoring, teaching, or sharing your experiences with younger generations. Not sure where to start? Try this. Each morning, write down one thing you're looking forward to that day. It could be a hobby, a walk, a conversation, or even just enjoying your favorite book. When you have something to look forward to, life feels fuller. A life with purpose is a life well lived. Find what lights you up and make it part of your everyday. Habit 8. Stay connected with nature. Nature has a way of healing us, of grounding us, calming us, and reminding us that we are part of something bigger. The happiest women over 70 know that spending time outdoors is essential for well-being. Studies show that just 20 minutes outside can lower stress, improve mood, and boost overall happiness. Whether it's a walk in the park, gardening, or simply sitting in the sun, connecting with nature is one of the easiest ways to feel more alive. Even if you can't go outside, you can still bring nature to you. Open a window, let fresh air in. Listen to nature sounds, birds chirping, ocean waves. Add houseplants to your space to create a sense of calm. Nature has a way of reminding us to slow down, to breathe, to appreciate the beauty of now. So today, step outside, even if just for a moment. Let the wind touch your face, feel the sun on your skin, and remember you're part of this world and it is beautiful. Habit 9. Laugh often and find joy in the small things. Have you ever noticed how children find joy in the simplest things? A butterfly landing on a flower, a funny face, or a silly song can make them burst into laughter. Somewhere along the way, many of us forget how to truly enjoy the little things in life. But the happiest women? They never stop laughing. They know that joy isn't something you wait for. It's something you choose every day. Laughter isn't just good for the soul, it's good for your health. Studies show that laughing reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and even boosts your immune system. So how can you bring more laughter into your life? Surround yourself with people who make you smile. Watch a funny movie, read a lighthearted book, and most importantly, don't take life too seriously. A little laughter can make even the toughest days a little brighter. Because at the end of the day, happiness isn't about the big moments, it's about finding joy in the smallest ones. Habit 10. Take care of appearance. Taking care of yourself isn't about vanity, it's about self-respect. When you feel good about how you look, you carry yourself with more confidence, more grace, and more joy. Self-care isn't just about looking beautiful, it's about feeling beautiful, inside and out. Simple self-care rituals, like moisturizing your skin, wearing a soft perfume, or putting on your favorite earrings, can lift your mood and make you feel more like yourself. And don't underestimate the power of a fresh haircut or a new outfit. It's not about impressing others, it's about honoring yourself and saying, I matter. The happiest women don't let age define how they feel about themselves. They embrace their beauty, their wisdom, and their style. Because self-care is a way of saying, I love who I am. So wear that lipstick, put on that favorite dress, and remember, you are always worth the effort. Habit 11. Practice forgiveness and letting go. Holding on to anger is like carrying a heavy stone in your heart. It weighs you down. The happiest women over 70 know that peace comes from letting go of the past. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from pain that no longer serves you. Sometimes, forgiving doesn't mean reconnecting, it just means releasing the hurt. You can write a letter you never send. You can whisper a silent, I forgive you in your heart. It's not for them, it's for you. And don't forget to forgive yourself. We all make mistakes, we all have regrets, but every day is a new chance to be kinder. To yourself and to others. Because happiness isn't found in holding on, it's found in letting go. Habit 12. Get enough rest and quality sleep. Sleep is the foundation of everything. It affects your mood, your energy, even your memory. Happy women over 70 don't just get enough rest, they make it a priority. As we age, sleep patterns change, but that doesn't mean we have to accept restless nights. Small changes can make a big difference. First, create a bedtime routine. Try going to bed at the same time each night, keeping your bedroom cool and dark, and avoiding screens before bed. Relaxing rituals like reading, meditating, or listening to calming music can help signal to your body that it's time to unwind. Quality sleep isn't just about feeling better, it's about living better. It helps with memory, strengthens the immune system, and even reduces the risk of heart disease. So tonight, give yourself the gift of true rest, because a well-rested mind and body lead to a happier, healthier life. So start where you are. Maybe pick one habit to focus on today. Maybe share this with a friend who needs a little encouragement. Because happiness isn't something that happens to you, it's something you choose every single day. It's in the way you wake up with gratitude, in the way you care for your body and mind, in the way you find joy in the smallest moments and surround yourself with love and laughter. Every day is a new chance to create a life that feels good. One habit, one choice, one moment at a time. So, which of these habits will you start practicing today? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Together, we can create a community of strong, joyful, and empowered women, because happiness is always within reach, no matter your age. Thank you for watching, and remember, every day is a gift. Make it count. Have you ever looked in the mirror after a hair appointment and wondered, does this color make me look older? You're not alone. Today we're tackling a question I hear constantly from my clients over 60. Which hair colors add years to our appearance, and which ones bring out that natural glow we all want to maintain? Here's a truth that many stylists won't tell you. The hair color that worked in your 40s might be working against you now. I discovered this the hard way when my own mother came to me after years of using the same box dye. One simple color adjustment literally transformed her appearance, taking years off without looking like she was trying too hard. In the next few minutes, I'll share the 3 most aging hair color mistakes women make. Mistakes that even expensive salons might be making with your hair. But more importantly, I'll reveal the 3 most flattering color approaches that make women feel most confident and radiant. This isn't about chasing youth or following trends. It's about understanding how our coloring evolves and working with those changes, not against them. Whether you color at home or visit a salon, you'll walk away with practical wisdom to make informed choices about your hair color journey. Before we dive into specific colors, let's talk about what actually happens to our hair as we mature. Understanding these changes is the foundation for making smart color choices. First, our hair structure itself transforms over time. By age 60, most of us have experienced a significant decrease in the diameter of each hair strand. What was once thick and robust becomes finer and more delicate. This isn't just about having less hair, though that's common too. It's about the individual strands becoming more fragile. Then there's the most obvious change, graying. When our follicles produce less melanin, the pigment that gives hair its color, we get gray hair. But what many don't realize is that gray hair has a different texture. It tends to be coarser, more wiry, and often more resistant to color. This is why the formula that worked perfectly 10 years ago might not give you the same results today. Equally important is how our skin tone changes. Over time, our skin typically loses some of its natural warmth and becomes thinner with less underlying fat. This means the contrast between our hair and skin appears different, and colors that once complemented us perfectly might now create harsh contrasts or wash us out entirely. Consider how these 2 colors look on the same person. The shade on the left, chosen based on her coloring from 20 years ago, creates shadows and emphasizes fine lines. The one on the right, selected for current skin tone, brings light to her face and creates harmony with her natural coloring now. There's also a psychological aspect to consider. Our perception of what looks natural shifts as we age. A 25-year-old with jet black hair might look perfectly natural, but the same color can look severe and artificial on someone in their 60s or 70s, even if that was their original color in youth. The good news? Once you understand these changes, you can work with them strategically. The right hair color doesn't just cover gray. It creates dimension, flatters your complexion, and enhances your natural features. And remember, there's no single right approach. Some embrace their silver completely, others prefer to maintain a color closer to what they had in earlier decades. What matters is that your choice makes you feel confident and enhances your natural beauty today, not 20 years ago. So let's dive in and discover which hair colors might be aging you and which ones will have everyone asking what your secret is. Let's start with one of the most common color mistakes: solid jet black. Many women have used dark black hair color for decades, especially if they naturally had very dark hair in their youth. But here's why this might not be serving you well anymore. True black hair color creates what colorists call extreme value contrast. In simple terms, it makes a stark line between dark hair and lighter skin. While this can look stunning on younger skin with more natural color and elasticity, on mature skin, it tends to create harsh shadows that actually emphasize fine lines, wrinkles, and any unevenness in skin tone. Look at these before and after images. On the left, we see solid black hair that's creating sharp shadows around the eyes and mouth. Notice how it draws your eye to the texture in the skin rather than to the person's beautiful features. The flat, one-dimensional color also looks obviously artificial, which can add years to your appearance. Pay special attention to how the black creates a harsh frame around the face. Our eyes naturally perceive high contrast as a sign of aging, because as we mature, we lose the softness and blending that characterize youthful features. Now there are exceptions. If you have a deep winter complexion with naturally high contrast features, or if your cultural background typically features very dark hair into older age, black can still work. But the key is softening it. Rather than a flat, inky black from roots to ends, notice how this softer black has subtle dimension. There are barely there variations in tone that make it look more natural and less severe. This might be dark espresso lowlights mixed with a softer black base, creating dimension without obvious highlights. If you've been using black hair color for years and feel attached to your signature look, I'm not suggesting you go blonde tomorrow. Instead, consider working with a colorist to gradually introduce some softer tones, perhaps a deep chocolate brown, or even some subtle midnight blue undertones that can create dimension while maintaining your dark-haired identity. Remember, the goal isn't to erase who you are, but to enhance your natural beauty as it evolves. Solid black can be aging, but rich, dimensional dark shades can be absolutely stunning at any age. The second, potentially aging color might surprise you: platinum blonde and overly ashy tones. Many women gravitate toward these cooler blondes, thinking they'll help camouflage gray, but they can actually have the opposite effect. These icy cool-tone blondes, while stunning on the right person, can be particularly problematic for mature skin. Here's why. As we age, our skin naturally loses some of its warmth and rosiness. The yellow and red undertones that gave our complexion vitality in youth tend to diminish, leaving us with cooler, sometimes more sallow undertones. Look at this example. On the left, we see platinum blonde hair against mature skin. Notice how, instead of brightening the face, it actually washes out the complexion, making the skin appear dull and lifeless. The cool tone of the hair is competing with, rather than complementing, the natural undertones of the skin. Pay close attention to the area around the eyes and mouth. See how the harsh platinum creates shadows and actually draws attention to fine lines. That's because extremely light, cool tones reflect light differently than warmer shades, often highlighting texture rather than creating a soft, diffused effect. Beyond the aesthetic challenges, platinum and ash blonde present significant maintenance issues. These colors require frequent touch-ups, often every 3 to 4 weeks, because even a quarter inch of darker regrowth creates a sharp, aging contrast. This not only becomes expensive, but also means more chemical processing on already delicate hair. The level of lightening required to achieve these icy tones can severely compromise hair integrity, especially on mature hair that's already becoming finer and more fragile. The result? Often dry, brittle strands that break easily, and damaged hair always age your overall appearance. Now, if you naturally have very fair skin with cool, pink undertones and light eyes, ash blonde can still work beautifully. The key is ensuring it's not too light or too ashy for your individual coloring. If you've been loyal to your platinum or ash blonde for years, don't worry. You don't need to become a brunette overnight. In our glow-enhancing colors section coming up, I'll show you how adding just a touch of warmth to your blonde can maintain that light, bright look you love while being much more flattering to mature skin and far less damaging to your hair's health. Now let's talk about the third major color mistake that can add years to your appearance: flat, single-process brown. This might be the most common issue I see, particularly among women who've been coloring their hair at home for years. What exactly do I mean by flat, single-process brown? I'm talking about those medium to dark brown shades applied evenly from root to tip, creating a solid block of identical color throughout the hair. While this approach seems logical, after all, it covers gray effectively, it can actually age you significantly. Take a look at this example. On the left, we see hair colored with a single-process medium brown. Notice how it creates what colorists often call the helmet effect, where the hair appears almost like a solid shell with no variation or movement. This flat, uniform color doesn't exist in nature, even in younger hair, which naturally has subtle variations in tone. Pay attention to how this solid brown creates a harsh frame around the face. Natural hair, even when it's one basic color, always has dimension. Lighter pieces where the sun hits, slightly deeper tones underneath. Without this dimension, the solid color creates an artificial-looking contrast against the skin that can emphasize fine lines and wrinkles. Many at-home color kits can exacerbate this problem because they're designed to deliver consistent, full coverage. The result is often a flat, sometimes dull finish that lacks the reflection and movement that makes hair look healthy and vibrant. And healthy, vibrant hair is always more youthful looking than hair that appears dull or artificial. Another issue with single-process brown is that many commercial brown dyes, both in salons and at-home kits, contain ashy or cool undertones to help neutralize red. While this works well for covering certain types of gray, these cool browns can drain the warmth from your complexion, especially problematic as our skin naturally loses some of its rosiness with age. Medium ash browns can be especially troublesome, creating what colorists call a muddy effect that doesn't flatter most mature skin tones. These shades often appear greenish or grayish under certain lights, which can make the skin appear sallow or tired. If you're currently using a single-process brown, don't worry, the fix doesn't require a dramatic change. In fact, some of the most youthful-looking color treatments for mature women are based on brown shades, just with strategic dimension added. Coming up shortly, I'll show you how adding subtle variations to your brown base can transform your entire look without taking you out of your comfort zone. Now let's shift to the exciting part, the colors that can truly enhance your natural radiance. First up, dimensional brunettes with warmth. This approach is often the perfect solution for women who've been using that flat, single-process brown we just discussed. What makes dimensional brunettes so flattering? It's all about mimicking what happens in nature. Even in youth, no one has perfectly uniform hair color. Natural hair has subtle variations, lighter where the sun hits, deeper in underneath layers, with tones that complement your skin's undertones. Look at this transformation. On the left, we have that solid medium brown we discussed earlier. On the right, we've introduced subtle caramel highlights and rich chocolate lowlights to the same base color. Notice how the hair suddenly has movement, depth, and vitality? That's dimension working its magic. Pay special attention to how the warmer tones around the face, these honey and caramel pieces, reflect light onto the skin, creating a natural illumination effect. This subtle glow is like having your own built-in ring light. It softens the appearance of fine lines and brings attention to your eyes and smile, rather than to the texture in your skin. The beauty of dimensional brunettes is their versatility. If your natural base was darker, consider rich espresso with subtle mahogany undertones. If you were naturally a medium brown, try a chocolate base with caramel highlights. For those who are lighter brown, a warm chestnut with honey accents can be stunning. The placement of these dimensional pieces is key. Strategic highlights around the face frame your features beautifully, while variations throughout create natural-looking depth. This isn't about obvious stripy highlights, it's about subtle, blended dimension that looks sophisticated and intentional. When talking to your colorist, use words like subtle dimension, soft contrast, and face-framing warmth. Bring photos that show the level of dimension you're comfortable with. And remember, you don't need dramatic contrast. Even slight variations in tone can make a significant difference. For those coloring at home, consider upgrading to a system that allows for some dimension, like highlighting kits specifically designed for mature hair. The investment in a slightly more complex approach pays enormous dividends in how youthful and natural your color appears. Our second rejuvenating color option is what I call soft, buttery blondes. If you've been drawn to blonde but have found platinum or ash tones too harsh, this warmer approach could be your perfect solution. Instead of icy platinum or ashy tones, buttery blondes embrace golden, honey, and champagne undertones. These warmer variations add a subtle richness that flatters mature skin in ways that cooler blondes often can't achieve. Look at this comparison. On the left, we see that ash blonde we discussed earlier. Notice how it creates a stark contrast against the skin and seems to emphasize lines around the eyes and mouth. Now look at the right. This is the same level of blonde, but with golden undertones. See how it creates a soft glow that seems to illuminate the face? That warmth is reflecting light in a way that's much more flattering. Pay close attention to the area around the cheekbones and jawline. The warmer blonde actually creates the illusion of more lift and definition in these areas, while the cooler blonde can make features appear to recede or flatten. That subtle warmth mimics the effect of beautiful natural light on the face. What's wonderful about buttery blondes is their range. For those with naturally fair hair, a creamy blonde with subtle honey lowlights creates beautiful dimension. If your natural color was darker, consider a butterscotch or caramel base with lighter golden highlights. These blended variations look sophisticated and intentional, never brassy or artificial. Now let's talk about maintaining these warm blondes, because that's where many women struggle. Unlike ashy blondes that often require toning to counteract brassiness, these warmer blondes work with your hair's natural tendency to warm up over time. That means less fighting against nature and less damage from frequent processing. I recommend using color-preserving shampoos specifically formulated for blonde hair, but avoid purple shampoos that are designed to eliminate warmth, exactly what gives buttery blondes their magic. Instead, look for gold-enhancing or illuminating products that maintain that subtle warmth. When working with your colorist, use terms like golden blonde, honey highlights, or warm champagne. Avoid words like platinum, ash, or cool in your description. And be specific about wanting warmth around your face. This is where it makes the biggest difference in how flattering the color appears. For at-home color, look for shades with words like golden, honey, or warm in the description, and steer clear of those labeled ash or cool. The right warm blonde can truly transform your entire appearance, bringing a youthful radiance that cool blondes simply can't match. Our third glow-enhancing approach might surprise you: strategic silver and gray blending. This isn't about surrendering to aging, it's about embracing the sophistication of silver in the most flattering way possible. The key word here is strategic. We're not talking about simply growing out your natural gray, although that's certainly a valid choice. Instead, this approach uses color techniques to enhance your natural silver, creating dimension and shine while eliminating the often uneven, patchy appearance that can occur during the graying process. Look at these transformations. On the left, we see hair in that awkward transition stage, some areas gray, others holding natural pigment, creating a somewhat dull, uneven appearance. On the right, we've used strategic color techniques to blend and enhance these variations. Notice how the hair suddenly looks intentional, sophisticated, and radiant? Pay attention to how the blended approach creates a multi-dimensional silver that catches and reflects light. This luminosity is incredibly flattering and youthful looking. See how it brightens the face rather than draining it of color? That's because properly maintained silver hair has a beautiful reflective quality that illuminates your features. There are several approaches to strategic silver blending. For those just beginning to gray, subtle lowlights in your natural shade blended with silvery highlights can create a gorgeous salt and pepper effect. For those further along, incorporating platinum or silver highlights alongside your natural gray creates beautiful dimension. Maintaining gorgeous silver requires specific care. Gray and silver hair tends to yellow or develop a brassy cast from environmental factors. Using blue or purple shampoos once or twice weekly keeps silver looking bright and clean. Additionally, glossing treatments every 4 to 6 weeks add incredible shine, and shine is always youthful. The difference between dull gray and luminous silver is primarily about condition and shine. Look at this comparison. Same color, but the hair on the right has been treated with shine-enhancing products. That reflective quality makes all the difference in how vibrant and modern the silver appears. Embracing your silver strategically can be incredibly liberating. Many of my clients who've made this transition say they feel more authentic and confident than they have in years. Plus, the reduced maintenance compared to full color coverage means healthier hair and less time spent at the salon. When discussing this option with your colorist, use terms like silver blending, dimensional gray, or enhanced natural. Bring photos showing the level of silver versus dark hair you prefer, as this approach can be customized to your comfort level with gray. Now that we've explored both aging and enhancing hair colors, let's talk about how to put this knowledge into action with some practical advice that will help you make the best choices for your unique situation. Finding the right colorist is crucial for mature hair. Look for someone who specializes in color for women over 50. They'll understand the specific challenges and opportunities of mature hair. When you schedule a consultation, which should always be free or applied to your service, come prepared with questions. Here are the essential questions to ask during your consultation. How would you adapt this color to flatter my skin tone? A good colorist should immediately discuss your undertones and how certain colors will complement them. What kind of dimension do you recommend for my face shape and features? They should discuss strategic placement around your face, not just all-over color. How will we maintain my hair's health during the coloring process? This is critical. Damaged hair always looks aging, regardless of color. What kind of maintenance schedule would this require? Be honest about how much upkeep you're willing to commit to. When showing inspiration photos, and you absolutely should bring these, focus on women with similar coloring and features, rather than celebrities or models who might have very different natural characteristics. Better yet, bring before and after photos of real women in your age range. For those coloring at home, understand the limitations. Box dyes are designed for full coverage, which can create that flat effect we discussed. Consider more sophisticated at-home options like highlighting kits designed for mature hair or root touch-up products that can extend time between salon visits. Regardless of what color path you choose, proper maintenance is essential. Invest in sulfate-free shampoos formulated for color-treated hair. Use heat protectants before styling, as mature colored hair is especially vulnerable to heat damage. Weekly treatments with color-preserving masks will extend the life of your color while keeping hair looking healthy and vibrant. Look at the difference proper maintenance makes. Both of these women have the same hair color, but the one on the right uses specialized products and treatments. Notice how much more vibrant and healthy her hair appears? Healthy hair always looks more youthful than damaged hair, regardless of color. Remember, the most flattering hair color is one that makes you feel confident. If maintaining your signature shade brings you joy, find ways to adapt it with subtle dimension rather than abandoning it entirely. Small adjustments, slightly warmer tones, a bit more dimension around the face, can make a dramatic difference without taking you out of your comfort zone. And finally, schedule seasonal consultations with your colorist. As lighting changes throughout the year, you might benefit from subtle adjustments to your color formula to maintain that perfect, flattering shade. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Share it with anyone you think could use a little boost in confidence and style, and leave a comment below. Until next time, remember that elegance starts from within, and you're more than capable of radiating it every day. Stay graceful, stay confident, and most importantly, stay you.